Welcome to the Morning Update. I'm Erin Ramsey. The report card is in. Australia has been ranked last for its climate policy. The Climate Change Performance Index, unveiled at the UN Climate Summit, also has us ranked poorly in its three other categories: emissions, renewable energy and energy use. It's as the Prime Minister is set to launch a $1 billion investment fund to fast-track low-emissions technologies. The aim of the fund to provide support to small technology-focused startups. Experts have hinted towards wild weather this week. It's set to finally hit. Heavy rainfall is expected to hit parts of Queensland, New South Wales and Victoria from today. Up to 150 millimetres expected to fall in some areas. Western Queensland expected to see 3 times the November rainfall. Adelaide could also be affected, but Jenny Horvath from the Weather Bureau says they'll keep an eye on it.
It will depend on where that low tracks. If it comes further south, we could see some significant falls here, but we will monitor that. But if it tracks to the north, we mightn't see too much.
Aussies have donated a massive $10 million to support displaced children and families in Afghanistan. The UN Refugee Agency says that's more than the contribution of many governments. The appeal had the backing of several high-profile Australian cricketers, artists, entertainers and business leaders. And get set for a hike in the price of your morning cup of coffee. The cost tipped to jump by up to $1 a cup due to a sharp increase in freight and shipping costs because of the pandemic. Cafes are also being forced to pay higher wages to attract staff back into the hospitality sector. To sport, the Socceroos are back on home soil for tomorrow night's clash against Saudi Arabia in Sydney. It's a huge step towards qualifying for next year's FIFA World Cup. Cricket Australia has confirmed a tour of Pakistan next year. It will be the first time in more than 2 decades an Aussie side has played in Pakistan. And Paralympic gold medalist Dylan Alcott will finish up his career as one of the most decorated wheelchair tennis players of all time. He will retire after next year's Australian Open. In entertainment news, Britney Spears has told social media that she's expecting a very interesting week ahead of her conservatorship hearing on Friday. A judge will rule whether or not to remove her dad Jamie as conservator or to terminate the whole thing. Ed Sheeran says he has no plans to collaborate with fellow Brit Adele. The singer says while they've been friends for years, she prefers to work alone. Ed says he doesn't want to mess with her tried and tested recipe for success. And the famous costume worn by Will Ferrell in Elf has sold at auction in LA for $300,000. It was expected to go for only $40,000. That's your latest from the Nova podcast team. We'll see you this afternoon for another episode of The Update.